What's going on, guys? My name is Steve. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Today we're going to be reacting to the top 10 most disturbing British adverts. You know, at this point, I've only seen a handful of British adverts, mainly around Christmas time. And so when I come across this video and saw the word disturbing in here, I thought this is something I've got to check out. I'm not really sure if these are going to be kind of a little bit creepy or if they're more sad. But anyways, guys, I don't want to ramble too much. Let's just go ahead and check out what the top 10 most disturbing British adverts are.
This is what happened one day when the ice cream van stopped by Tufty's house. Ice cream!
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 most disturbing British adverts.
Oh, man.
We've had a couple of reports of neglect at this address. All we're going to do is have a little look around your cupboards.
Oh, stuck right at the back. Who knows how long that's been in here.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're going to be looking at the adverts that somehow made it onto British TV despite traumatizing a generation. We will also be including public information films and PSAs. Let us know in the comments which classic ads you still have nightmares about. Number 10. Bernardo's adverts. This isn't just one ad, but various ads produced by Bernardo's over the years. Bernardo's is a charity that helps vulnerable children, and its ads need to be memorable so that people remember the name and donate, but they can still make for upsetting viewing. One ad called Break the Cycle showed a young girl's distressing home and school life, culminating in her going to prison for assault.
20 quid. Worthless. 20 quid. Worthless. 20 quid.
Another shows a man's life as he works through a childhood of neglect and anger issues.
I trust her.
Don't trust no one. I ain't changing.
They laughed at me. They said I was thick. I will say that again.
Mummy's boyfriend hears me. I'm scared.
Though they all talk about the positive effects intervention can have in a child's safety, they're still hard to watch. Number 9.
What the... Okay. Wow. Okay, that... Yeah, I must say, that's the type of ad, man, like, if I come on the TV and we were sitting there, I would literally have to take my daughter out of the room. Because, I mean... oh man, wow, dude, that was, I mean, that would definitely be rememberable, which is what they're after, I guess, but still, man, that is a little bit disturbing to be a commercial or an advert on TV. Okay.
Old fridges can kill. Even today, fridges can potentially be dangerous, though the situation was significantly worse in the 70s and earlier. This ad was made to educate people on the hidden dangers of fridges, specifically fridges that people had fly-tipped in public places.
To you, it's just a worn-out fridge, but to a child, it's a caravan, a ship, a castle, even a bed, and a death trap. Airtight and impossible to open from the inside.
If a child got into one of these old-fashioned fridges while playing make-believe, the door could potentially close and lock, leading to many fatal incidents.
Don't let an old fridge be a new danger to children. Take off the door or smash the lock.
It was a frightening ad at the time, but it's even more disturbing today when we're so used to fridges that don't have locks on the doors. It's shocking to think this used to happen.
Ask your local council to take it away or tell you how to dispose of it before it kills a child.
Number 8.
Oh man, I never even thought about that. That advert actually, I can see the purpose of that back in the day. Because I mean, that is true. They did have lots on it. If a kid walked in, man, I mean, oh man, that's horrible. Man, what? Why did they put locks on them in the first place? I mean, is that how they kept them shut? I don't know. I guess it was kind of like a regular door, and they had like you pulled the latch to open it. I don't know. But okay, yeah, man, that I can see the purpose, but yeah, that is a little bit disturbing to see that as a commercial. It would be today, especially.
Lonely water. Fridges may not be too dangerous anymore, but unsupervised bodies of waters certainly are. This ad, yet another product of the 1970s, when there was apparently no health and safety or common sense whatsoever, featured the Grim Reaper preying on children near lakes and rivers. You'll never want to swim again, regardless of whether it's in a proper swimming pool or a filthy body of wastewater surrounded by rubbish.
Under the water there are traps, old cars, bedsteads, weeds, hidden depths. It's the perfect place for an accident.
Number 7.
Oh my goodness, man. What in the world, dude? His voice is the thing nightmares are made of. And I mean that in a good way. Not, you know what I mean? Like he has the perfect voice for that type of creepy vibe, man. Oh my goodness, dude. Wow. Perfect guy to do that commercial. But man, again, that commercial was okay. So far, I will say these are some of the most disturbing adverts I've ever seen. You know, I can understand the reasoning behind, especially these last two. But still, man, my goodness. Some tough subject matter, I guess, requires tough advertising. I don't know.
Marmite
this one's probably
Rescue
just
Unit.
fun.
Animal neglect is no laughing matter.
Maybe not.
And someone probably should have told Marmite's advertising department that long before they threw this ad together.
We've had a couple of reports of neglect at this address. All we're going to do is have a little look around your cupboards.
Oh, stuck right at the back. Who knows how long that's been in here.
Made to parody reality shows that follow the police or RSPCA, we're with a Marmite Rescue Unit who arrive at people's homes and save their neglected jars of Marmites.
As the team have come to learn, offenders can be from all walks of life.
Promise he will go to a good home.
I'm sorry.
It was wildly controversial because it appears to make light of actual cases of neglect and abuse in people's homes.
Oh no.
What's the matter?
It's baby one.
Okay, don't panic.
It's not been used in months.
Alright.
Lid's stuck.
Alright, gently, gently.
I can change.
Clearly, this could be distressing to anybody who's actually been through such an experience, and it got hundreds of complaints. Plus, who wants to eat a jar of Marmite that someone else has had gathering dust in the cupboard for years anyway?
After an emotional day, the team drop off the rescued jars at the rehoming centre,
Really love this one.
Oh my goodness.
where a proud family welcomes their new addition.
Number 6.
Dude. Okay, that one, I can understand how, at first I thought it was about, I didn't know what the neglect was about, if it was about children or animals. I think he said animals though, so it's a little bit less controversial, I would think. Although, you know, I can still see how some people would be a little bit taken back by that, but it did have some humor in it, obviously. So it's just like one of those things you just gotta, I guess you just kind of gotta overlook the controversial aspect of it and look at the humorous aspect of it, because the way they were there at the pound, you know, and acting like they were animals, that was actually pretty clever.
Flying cats. This ad got Paddy Power on the wrong side of the ASA once again, but this time it was for allegedly promoting animal cruelty. We see men at a football match all playing blindfolded when somebody kicks the ball out of the pitch. A scared cat runs in, and though we don't actually see what happens, we see a man kick and then the cat yowls. Paddy Power presumably thought that not showing the cat flying through the air would stop the regulators from going after them. This was true, the ad didn't get pulled, but the public complained en masse and probably weren't going to Paddy Power when they wanted to place a bet.
Paddy Power can't get Tiddles back. There's nothing we can do about that. But we can get you your money back with our money back specials.
Number 5.
Come on, guys. I love cats. I've always enjoyed cats. I'm pretty much a cat person. I also like dogs, but I've really enjoyed cats my entire life, and I thought that was funny. Obviously, no cats were were hurt in that advertisement, and it was just you really weren't expecting that. If you're seeing that for the first time, you're not expecting to hear that. That was pretty good. Yeah, but anyways, let's continue.
Dog breath. This ad is disturbing simply because it's gross.
Okay,
if it came on TV while you happen to be eating, it may well have put you off your food.
Oh, come
we see
on.
a man wake up after what looks like an eventful night
Oh,
out.
man. Wrigley? Chewing gum.
He's still fully clothed, dirty, hungover, and has fallen asleep in the remains of a kebab on the sofa. Very classy. But it gets worse when he vomits up an entire filthy dog onto the living room carpet.
Oh, man. That is a gross scene, man.
We understand it's trying to make a point about how awful your breath would be after a night of drinking and kebab eating, but that didn't stop the ad receiving plenty of complaints when it first aired in 2003. It was ultimately pulled.
Why? I mean, it's kind of gross. No, it's really gross.
Number 4.
Okay, that was one of the grossest ads I've ever seen. I don't know what it is about it. Just seeing that nasty looking dog. No, man, that was anyway. That was pretty gross. I guess that's why. What was it really disturbing? A little bit disturbing, but it was more just gross. So I can understand why it was pulled because it was pretty disgusting. But I guarantee you that made an impression where people remembered Wrigley. I think I would remember that gum. Watching that commercial, I think I'd remember that gum for a very long time. So, or Wrigley has a gum here. I noticed that actually it looked like it wasn't a gum. It looked like it was actually some sort of breath mint or something. So anyway, Tufty the squirrel.
Tufty the squirrel. Road safety ads can often be highly upsetting and can show more graphic violence than should really be acceptable on TV. But Tufty the squirrel was disturbing for another reason.
This is what happened one day when the ice cream van stopped by Tufty's house. Ice cream!
Okay.
This ad campaign from the 1970s, which worked on teaching kids the rules of the Green Cross Code, had some truly uncanny squirrel puppets. Tufty was used as a road safety mascot for decades, but this iteration was genuinely frightening.
Oh dear! Oh, Mummy! Willie has been knocked down by a car. Now Willie has been hurt.
Featuring wide, horrified eyes and constantly at risk of getting hit by a car, Tufty may well scare you into remembering to look both ways before you cross the road.
Oh man, the symbolism.
Just think what might have happened to Tufty or Bobby if they had run into the road.
The ad probably worked in that regard.
I don't know.
Number 3.
Look, I mean, it's just, oh man, I don't know. The symbolism there, and I mean, that's the things that would give kids nightmares. I mean, really, straight up. I don't know, man. I don't believe in scaring kids into understanding safety. Instead, you need to sit down and talk to them. And, when you're crossing a street, every time you cross, guide them to look both ways and things like that. And I don't know. It was a different time period. The 1970s, completely different time period. Things were different. But that was definitely disturbing, to say the least. It could definitely be for kids, especially.
A bedtime story.
There was once a land where the weather was very, very strange. There were awful heat waves in some parts, and in others, terrible storms and floods.
Did you know that you, and you alone, are responsible for climate change? Well, not really, but that's the message this government PSA is trying to get across.
Some places could even disappear under the sea, and it was the children of the land who'd have to live with the horrible consequences.
Dude!
We see a father reading a story to his daughter about the horrific effects of global warming, including the deaths of her pets. as he describes how 40% of carbon emissions come
Come
from
on,
ordinary
man.
households.
They discovered that over 40% of the CO2 was coming from ordinary everyday things like keeping houses warm and driving cars.
Now, not only is this advert very upsetting, especially to young kids, but it's also not exactly true.
Is there a happy ending?
It's really the energy companies who should be getting their power from renewable sources, rather than climate change being the fault of regular people having their lights turned on. Number 2.
You know, why that's disturbing to me is that, you know, it seems like today we want to always turn kids into little adults. When a kid is 3 or 4 years old, they don't need to know anything about adult things, adult matters, politics, none of this mess. Let kids be kids. They only have one period of time in their life they're going to be kids. I will never, bring my daughter in on a bunch of adult, problems and things. When they become, say, teenagers, they can start learning about adult things. They don't, at 4 years old, they don't need to be told, oh, your pet's going to die because of you turning on your light. And that's what they would associate that with. And that was disturbing because it was not okay, man. Kids are so easily brainwashed. They're gullible because you're an adult. They just going to automatically assume that you pretty much know what you're talking about. And so when you tell them something, it blows up bigger than what you even said to them. It becomes a bigger deal to them. And so when you say something like your pet's going to die because of the lights turned on, man, you know how scary that could be for a little kid. Yeah, that's something, man. Let kids be kids, guys.
Ghost Girl.
Oh dear. The Samsung Taco icon is only $59.95.
Okay, that was...
Phones for You did a whole series of horror-themed ads back in 2011, but the most notorious of all was one with a frightening ghost girl.
Dude.
The ad shows a woman walking through a car park
like
late
at
night, getting pursued by something supernatural.
Oh, man.
We see the ghost a few times until it finally appears at the car window looking like Wednesday Addams. It turns out the ghost doesn't want to harm the woman, just sell her a cheap Samsung Taco icon. But who wants to buy a phone from a ghost?
Hello. The Samsung Taco icon is only $59.95 on Pay As You Go. Phones for You. Missing our deals will haunt you.
Wow.
Phones for You was banned from showing the ad around any TV shows children might be watching, but it still garnered hundreds of complaints to the ASA. Number 1.
Wow. What is it, man? It's always the little kids like that are the spookiest in like movies or, like I was saying in the last video about like ghost stories and stuff like that. It's always the children that are the spookiest. It must be because we expect them to be innocent, but when they're made out in this light, they're just, I don't know, it's something different. It transforms. I don't know. It's just really interesting.
Hooked. The NHS has spent years trying to convince people to quit smoking, and this advert might be the most infamous one it has ever produced. It aims to show how detrimental a cigarette craving can be on someone's life, as a man is forcibly dragged from his office desk by a fishhook through his cheek. The campaign also appeared in other ads, all showing people in the process of being dragged around by the hook, with shocking smoking statistics displayed.
Wow.
The ads were eventually banned for being too graphic, particularly to children who saw them, though smoking rates are still decreasing in the UK year on year.
The average smoker needs over 5,000 cigarettes a year. Get unhooked. Call 0800 169 0169.
We're sure this gruesome ad had a lot to do with that. Do you agree with our picks?
I haven't seen many British adverts, but I do agree that these British adverts were, for the most part, disturbing. A couple of these were a little more lighthearted, but still had disturbing, twists to them. The cat one was kind of funny. That's the one I would say was really funny to me. I didn't really think it was that disturbing. I can understand why some people may be a little sensitive to that, but at the end of the day, you didn't even actually see it happen. You just heard the sound. And so that one, even as a cat lover, someone who enjoys cats, I found that one humorous. The Marmite one, I could see how the ending was pretty funny when they were all treating the Marmite jars like they were animals, cute little animals, but looking for a home. But I can understand how some people could be a little sensitive about that. Maybe, not too much, but a little bit. But some of these, man, oh my goodness, man. A lot of these are like just creepy, man. I mean, some of these are some of the creepiest ads I've ever seen. Granted, most of them were a little older, so I'm guessing nowadays you probably wouldn't see as many of these types of ads on TV. I don't know. I mean, we've had some creepy ads in the U.S., but I can't think of any as creepy as some of these I've seen here today. The climate change one is like, no matter what you think about climate change, with this ad, that's beside the point. Whether you believe in it, you don't believe it, that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is that you shouldn't bring children into adult activity. I mean, I'm not talking about children that are 13 or something like that. I'm talking about 3 and 4 year olds, 5-year-olds. These small kids should be able to be kids without having to stress about the lights or stress about, what they're eating or, they're in a car. It's just, we need to allow children to be children. We have, for the past generation, it seems like children have grown up way too fast. I think social media has done that in particular. And we need to go back to a time where, growing up, I didn't worry about adult problems at all. During my childhood, I went to school, I came home, I rode my bike, I went to play with my friends, I climbed trees, I went rock climbing up the cliffs, I went fishing, I just did all that sort of stuff, and my sister, she was doing some of the same stuff, playing with Barbies and all this other mess, and so it's like, we need to get back to that place to where, I know that this video really wasn't about, kids being kids, but that one ad got me thinking about it because I have a 4-year-old, and I'm not going to, make her worry about adult things and make her scared or concerned that some of the things she does in her life at 4 years old is contributing to some bad things somewhere. Like, it's just, you don't put that on kids. You just don't, man. It's bad taste, man. As a father, I 100% believe that's in bad taste, and kids need to be kids. Okay. That's all I have to say about that. And I hope that most people watching this can agree that kids need to be kids, and we need to quit making them adult-like. They have plenty of time. They're going to have the majority of their lives to worry about things and be adults and take responsibility for whatever, right? They have a very small window of time, 10 years, 13 years, 15 years if you're lucky, that they're actually kids and innocent. And, we need to allow them that time, because that allows them to grow into who they are going to truthfully become without the influence of, too many adult things early on, if you understand what I'm saying. I do feel pretty strongly about that, of letting kids be kids. But yeah, guys, anyways, thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow me on my journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Until next time, guys, peace.